Anarchy is the condition of a society, entity, group of people or a single person which does not recognize authority. It originally meant leaderlessness, but in 1840, Pierre-Joseph Proudhon adopted the term in his treatise What is Property? To refer to a new political philosophy, anarchism, which advocates stateless societies based on voluntary associations. Etymology. The word anarchy comes from the ancient Greek nu alpha rhokai iota alpha, which combines not, without, and rhokai eta, ruler, leader, authority. Thus, the term refers to a person or society without rulers or without leaders. Anarchy in political philosophy. Kant on anarchy. The German philosopher Immanuel Kant treated anarchy in his Anthropology from a pragmatic point of view as consisting of law and freedom without force. Thus, for Kant, anarchy falls short of being a true civil state because the law is only an empty recommendation, if force is not included to make this law efficacious. For there to be such a state, force must be included while law and freedom are maintained, a state which Kant calls republic. As summary, Kant named four kinds of government: law and freedom without force, law and force without freedom, force without freedom and law, force with freedom and law. Anarchism. Anarchism is generally defined as the political philosophy which holds the state to be immoral, or alternatively as opposing authority in the conduct of human relations. Proponents of anarchism, i.e., anarchists, advocate stateless societies based on what are sometimes defined as non-hierarchical organizations, and at other times defined as voluntary associations. There are many types and traditions of anarchism, not all of which are mutually exclusive. Anarchist schools of thought can differ fundamentally, supporting anything from extreme individualism to complete collectivism. Strains of anarchism have been divided into the categories of social and individualist anarchism or similar dual classifications. Anarchism is often considered to be a radical left-wing ideology, and much of anarchist economics and anarchist legal philosophy reflect anti-statist interpretations of communism, collectivism, syndicalism or participatory economics. To see this, of course, we must expound the moral outlook underlying anarchism. To do this, we must first make an important distinction between two general options in anarchist theory. The two are what we may call, respectively, the socialist versus the free market, or capitalist versions. Some individualist anarchists are also socialists or communists, while some anarcho-communists are also individualists or egoists. Anarchism as a social movement has regularly endured fluctuations in popularity. The central tendency of anarchism as a mass social movement has been represented by anarcho-communism and anarcho-syndicalism, with individualist anarchism being primarily a literary phenomenon which nevertheless did have an impact on the bigger currents, and individualists also participated in large anarchist organizations. Most anarchists oppose all forms of aggression, supporting self-defense or non-violence, while others have supported the use of militant measures, including revolution and propaganda of the deed, on the path to an anarchist society. Since the 1890s, the term libertarianism has been used as a synonym for anarchism and was used almost exclusively in this sense until the 1950s in the United States. At this time, classical liberals in the United States began to describe themselves as libertarians, and it has since become necessary to distinguish their individualist and capitalist philosophy from socialist anarchism. Thus, the former is often referred to as right-wing libertarianism, or simply right libertarianism, whereas the latter is described by the terms libertarian socialism, socialist libertarianism, left libertarianism, and left anarchism. Right libertarians are divided into minarchists and anarchists, with the latter often described as libertarian anarchists. Outside the Anglosphere, libertarianism generally retains its association with left-wing anarchism. Anarchy and anthropology. Some anarchist anthropologists, such as David Graeber and Pierre Clastres, consider societies such as those of the Bushmen, and the PRA were to be anarchies in the sense that they explicitly reject the idea of centralized political authority. Other anthropologists, such as Marshall Sahlins and Richard Bourget-Lee, have repudiated the idea of hunter-gatherer societies being a source of scarcity and brutalization, describing them as affluent societies. The evolutionary psychologist Steven Pinker writes, "Adjudication by an armed authority appears to be the most effective violence reduction technique ever invented. Though we debate whether tweaks in criminal policy, such as executing murderers versus locking them up for life, can reduce violence by a few percentage points, there can be no debate on the massive effects of having a criminal justice system as opposed to living in anarchy. The shockingly high homicide rates of pre-state societies, with 10 to 60% of the men dying at the hands of other men, provide one kind of evidence. Another is the emergence of a violent culture of honor in just about any corner of the world that is beyond the reach of law. The generalization that anarchy in the sense of a lack of government leads to anarchy in the sense of violent chaos may seem banal, but it is often overlooked in today's still romantic climate. Some anarcho-primitivists believe that this concept is used to justify the values of modern industrial society and move individuals further from their natural habitat and natural needs. John Zerzan has noted the existence of tribal societies with less violence than advanced societies. Zerzan and Theodore Kaczynski have talked about other forms of violence against the individual in advanced societies, generally expressed by the term social anomie, that result from the system of monopolized security. These authors do not dismiss the fact that humanity is changing while adapting to its different social realities, but consider the situation anomalous. The two results are that we either disappear or become something very different from what we have come to value in our nature. It has been suggested that this shift towards civilization, through domestication, has caused an increase in diseases, labor, and psychological disorders. In contrast, Pierre Clastres maintains that violence in primitive societies is a natural way for each community to maintain its political independence, while dismissing the state as a natural outcome of the evolution of human societies.